Oh, good day, sir. Hope you're having a wonderful day today.
Oh yes, thank you, kind sir.
Would you mind partaking in a skip down the high street for some tea?
Yes, I have been wondering what to do with these handmade crumpets.
Excellent. What the heck is going on over there?
Ain't that how all you British people act?
Man, that's peak. Alright lads, we are going for a crash course in all things British. It seems a lot of people outside of the UK hold all kinds of different stereotypes of us, and I felt that it was my duty as a fellow Brit to spread awareness and drop some cold hard facts, so I can show that we're more than just tea drinkers to the rest of the world, such as some Brits don't even like drinking tea. I didn't even know that there were brands other than PG Tips until I watched Black Butler when I was 13. Now, some think of us as loud foreigners who cause trouble whenever abroad. Some think of us as people whose only source of sustenance is tea and scones. And some people think of us as evil movie villains who have no other objective than to thwart the goals of American heroes. And I'm here to say, yeah, it's probably all true. But this doesn't include everyone. Like with many other countries, there are so many different types of people in our land of tea. God save the Queen. For simplicity, I have split them into 6 main types. The local geezer, who has surprisingly good DIY skills. The typical alpha husband of a half unstable family, the most common type in the older generation, can usually be located at the nearest pub. A subtype from the local geezer is called the obnoxious geezer, who is a person that likes alcohol a bit too much. These are also the type that tend to cause trouble when travelling abroad, may fight you over a football match. Next is Chavs, which stands for Council Housed and Violence. Pretty accurate name, but as a friend who has had Chav friends, they're very nice once you get to know them. Just make sure to carry a stab-proof vest. Some tend to become semi-celebrities as they appear in the Jeremy Kyle show. They are usually located in a group inside dark alleyways, rough neighbourhoods, or at the front of Tesco's. The Southern Posh. Typically living in the south side of England, they spend their time finding the perfect tea and playing badminton in their tiny back gardens. The male teens are basically Malfoy from Harry Potter, and the females are horse girls, may hold a superiority complex over the north due to being wealthier. Also believe that nothing exists beyond Manchester. The Northern Wilders. The range of dialects is much wider, where people living over 20 miles apart would sound completely different. Northerners contain increased cold resistance, as it is naturally colder up north. The average Northerner is rougher and more obsessed with football, maybe even to a toxic level, but still nice enough to thank their local bus driver. Typically a happier type, as housing is actually affordable. Midlanders. Pretty neutral, to be honest. We have Brummies that everyone likes to make fun of. That's about it. And finally, immigrants. As a child of immigrants, we're alright. Could do a better job at integrating into the British society. A lot of subtypes of this type. Enough to warrant its own video actually, so let's move on before this video cancels me. As you can see, there are distinct differences between us. Heck, when people say, oh, I like the British accent. Like, what do you mean? There's over 40 dialects in England. That's a pretty broad statement. Moving on to the pros and cons of being British. The pros are free healthcare, a super passport that lets you go pretty much anywhere, and the Queen. The cons are bleak weather, grey clouds are our default setting, generally pessimistic outlook on life, maybe because we barely see the sun. We don't really understand the concept of umbrellas unless you're a mum. All in all, it's not that bad. If I see one more person saying British, I'm gonna throw a crumpet at you. So you subscribe mates. I wonder how many Brits are actually offended. So did you learn anything new? Feel free to share any interesting parts of your country in the comments. See ya!